Welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and today is Tag Tuesday. I recently took part in a challenge hosted by Cara Creations and had some leftover pieces from that challenge, and I still want to use them. And you will notice they are all in the yellow and white families. So I want to see what I can do with these. Right off the bat, I will tell you, I am not a fan of shiny. Glittery, yes. Foiled, yes. This kind of file folder and trash to treasure packaging, shiny, not so much. So I'm going to take care of that part first. I have a piece of scrap vellum, and I'm hoping that I have enough. I do if I'm very careful. I'm going to take this vellum and just knock back that shine some. You'll still see all the color, but it won't be quite so in your face bright. And I am just doing what I call dry decoupage. I take a glue stick, which I guess isn't really dry, but it's drier than a wet glue. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I don't know if the definition for dry means you're using a tape runner or what, but we're just gonna go with the dry decoupage term as I'm using it for my video, because it's my video. Now I do want to make sure that I buff this down really well, and you can use your fingers. You can use a brayer. I have the top of a candle jar that I use sometimes, or since I don't have that handy, I do have this coaster. And whoops, I don't know why I turned it upside down. And I can take that and press, and the cork on the back just really helps to get that nice and adhered evenly. I do have some air bubbles because I am not a perfect glue sticker. But that's okay, because I'm probably going to cover that part up anyway. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this little piece. And I pushed so hard that I shifted the whole thing. So let's get that back on there. I'm just going to peel that all off and try it again. Now I'm going to have a crease in my vellum, but again, I'm not real worried about that. Maybe I just need not to push so hard. There we go. And that knocked back that shine without knocking back any of the color. So now I'm just going to trim them down. If this were a tissue paper or a napkin, I would be doing the technique where I take the water and use it to cut the excess paper, leaving a little lip, and then just gluing it over. But vellum does not lend itself to that very well. So I just take and I trim this off. All right, so that part is taken care of. And honestly, I don't have a plan. So this will be a little bit different. I think that one needs to go on there because they're just two different shades of white. And I think that I'm going to pair these two because I have a thought on that. And so looking through the pieces that I have over here, this one I think would actually lend itself really well to being a tab topper for this that I can use to fold over and connect the two pieces. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. When I have a piece this small that I want it to look like it got torn off, I grab these decal edged scissors because I'm afraid that if I try tearing it, I'm going to tear it too much and that it's not going to look right, or look like I want it to look anyway. I kind of missed some of the edge on there. And for these perforated tickets like this, let's see if I can get that up there where you can see it. See the little white dots and it's supposed to look perforated? I like to use this, and this is for sewing, and it's for using with a pattern. And when you have a piece of pattern on a fabric, you can lay this down and you can follow your cut line with it. And then you would have a pouncer that has chalk in it or something, and you would pounce over that, and then you could lift this up and you would have a cut line in chalk without having to pin a bunch of stuff and having things shift on you. Well, I like to use this for my perforations too, and I think it does a pretty good job of mimicking a perforation. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see the difference? This one is not done. This one has been done. I don't know if you can see it or not. Take my word for it. It looks like it's supposed to be perforated. You might be able to see it on the back. See the perforations. Anyway, I like that look. And with those perforations, I can fold this in half and make a tab topper for this, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first before I do anything else to this card. And I want to make sure that I don't glue all the way because I want this to be able to hinge. Now I could have put this all the way down and it still would have hinged open, but I kind of wanted to have the tag sticking up, this little tab topper sticking up. And if I had glued this part together, then it would not open up because this would have been closed shut. And this is what I wanted the look to be. And then for this one, I think that I am going to make this into a pocket, but I need to figure out how I want to do it. Do I want to do it this way and have it aside? Do I want to have the whole thing available? Do I want to do it sideways and make it a little more interesting? I think I may do that. I think I'm going to just glue those sides, but I'm going to do something to the background before I do all of that. And so I'm going to get out some of my gold ink, and this is what my gold ink looks like. This was a practice stamp, and I'm using Archival Pigment Ink Pad Brilliance Galaxy Gold. I don't think I need that just yet, but I may, because I think I'm going to use gold accents on this card set. So I think I just want a background, random background to go on the back of this. So let's see what I have up here in front of me. All right, I like this one. And it is a Stampabilities from 2009. I got it for $2.25 on clearance. And I am just going to stamp up my ink pad. And this pigment pad ink, and this pigment ink can also be used on vellum. I don't know if I want to try, I may try lining it up. See what happens. Nope, I don't want to take a chance on that. So I'm just going to stamp across. So that I go clear to the edges with it, and I'm not going to have any white ring around my tag. And then I'll ink it up again. Any seam that would show there would be covered up. Well, I don't have to hope. I can just do that. That'll just have to be part of my plan. And that one did not get as much ink on it as the other one did. But it's okay, I can work on it. That helped. And then I'll just come back here and make it just look a little crazier. There we go. Now pigment ink stays wet for a little while, so you want to be careful that you don't smudge it. And another thing that you can do with pigment ink very easily is emboss. And this is just Hero Arts embossing powder, and it's ultra fine and it's clear, which means that whatever color you used below, whatever ink color you used below, is going to show through the embossing when it is done. I'm trying to make sure that I have embossing powder everywhere, and I see some spots that I missed, so I'm just going to scoop that up and shake it over here. And you don't want to flick the back of your paper because you will knock off some of your embossing powder, and you don't want that. I don't think you want that. Maybe you do want that. I don't know. I don't want that. So I'm not flicking, but I am just patting the back to knock anything loose. And I think one more spot, and that'll be good. And I will put that back into the jar. Now I'm going to heat emboss this. And when you heat emboss, start from the back and heat it up on the back, and that will help it to settle into the paper. If you start on the top, you may not get complete melting, and you may lose some of your embossing afterwards because it didn't get set well on the back. You'll want to turn your embossing tool off every once in a while so that you can get a good look and see if you have actually embossed everywhere, or if you still have unmelted powder. I'm going to let that cool down for just a minute, and I'm going to come back and work on this one. And I'm trying to decide exactly what I want to do with it. I don't think that I am going to use any vintage colors on this one. I think I want it all to be bright, but I do want to use my gold so that I can highlight things. I won't have as much gold on this yellow one as I do on the white one, because that's not my aim, but I do want just a little shimmer. So I'm going to go around the edges with it, and the camera may not even pick this up. But you can see that I'm doing it, so you know it's there, right? And I know it's there because I can see it. And then I'm going to come and do the same thing around the back. And you can probably see that on the white. And like I said, I just want a little subtle shimmer on this particular tag. And I'm going to go through and do the same thing on the inside just because I like the continuity. I am going to give an extra bit of shimmer there on that, inside of that tag, not tag, tab. And I'm going to do the same thing. I know I'm going to put this one on here, on this particular tag, so I'm going to go ahead and hit it as well. This one would actually make a good-sized journaling card, so I may put something on the back of it and tuck it into a pocket here. Let's see which one of these would make a good pocket. Would that? Could I do that? That's the same color though. I need a little bit of something between the two. So I'll think about that one. Let's see. I think I'm going to use that one over there. And I'll use that over there. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one with, I'm just going to stick this one in the gold. Just plop it down in there. Okay, I think I figured out what I'm doing with this one. And I need to just hit the edges with this gold. Cover that up so it doesn't dry out on me. And I pulled out this piece from my scrap box, bottle, jar, whatever you want to call it. And I am going to just run that across the front here. And I actually think I'm going to get a couple of little brads. So I have two tiny little brads. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to put the brads through both and then through the tag. So I am going to get my hole punch. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now this is a tiny hole punch. I think that it's like a 1/16 of an inch. I don't think that it says anywhere on it what it is, but I think that's what it is. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to see what I'm doing and keep it on camera. All right, so there's that. Yep, and that'll be in there nice and snug. I need to put something on the back so that it can be written on. All right. And I'm going to put this one on here too, because they all seem to have a theme of spring market. This one says craft show, all things that I like to do in the spring around here, along with a garden show, but I don't think I have one that's got anything to do with garden show. Whoops. Let's do this. What does this one say? I don't know what that means, but I kind of like it. So we'll do the same with it, and I'll just make a little collage down here. I may put some more of that if I didn't throw it back into the jar, which I may have. Yep, I did. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so this is just going to have this bottom little corner glued. Because that way, if need be, this can tuck down into it if it decides that it wants to be falling out, which I don't think it will, but it also adds to the collaged look. Let's see. This was going to go here, so I'm just going to put a little glue down in that area. And if I need to add more, I can. Don't think I will have to, though. Well, maybe I will. Let's see. All right. And then this one, I'm going to have to use this glue as well because it's sticking up off the page because of that. And I think that I will cover up these brads with these tickets. And I'm just going to use my hole punch. To get those perforations because these are bigger. Not perfect, but I think handcrafted is not necessarily perfect. All right. So I'm going to trim off the white parts there and off the sides. All right, let's get some of this mess out of here. Get my edges hit with the gold and any place that is white, just so it doesn't look white. And I am going to glue this all the way across. It's not going to be a pocket. Just like that. And now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on the inside here. I may just see if there's any glue left on, or ink left on here, and just kind of go across the bottom, just for a hint. And then I'll just blend that in. Okay, I kind of like that. I think that one will be done. Let's get this one done real quick. As I was digging around for other things, I got these out. So let's see what happens with them. And I still have these two that may or may not get used. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to put a weight on that one because it doesn't want to stay down. You may hear my husband out in the backyard. We have contractors and all kinds of things going on. Seems like we always do. So I feel like I'm always apologizing for the noise in the background. I live here. And my studio opens, on 3 sides, it's exterior walls with windows. So there you go. Life is life. All right. Now let's see what we can do with this one. I'm going to set this one out of the way. Whoops, I have another piece here. Ha! Another ticket. So I can use this one on here. And I think I'm going to see what I can do. Good enough. Yep. All right, so I found this and I really liked it. And I think I'm going to just kind of start layering things up with that. I'm going to tie that at the top. I don't know if I'm going to use those or not, but I might. I could. Because I can make that a pocket. Yes, I realize I covered up a whole bunch of my embossing, but I'm okay with it. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. No, maybe not. I don't know what I'm going to do. I like it like that. All right, I think those three may not get used because I like this. Yep. And I think I'm going to use these other two brads that I pulled out. All right. I like that. I think that I am going to go ahead and add these to the back though, so that I can cover up the brads. But I think I want to just put something down there. All right, and so I'm just going to put this in the same position as I have it on the front, the other piece on the front. And then I'm just going to do these down the side. Hint, if you spread it out with your fingers, then you don't end up with the bumps that tend to show through. You will occasionally still get show through. I don't know how possible it would be to never have show through. Most of the time it works. Snug that one right up to the edge. I got out my liquid pearls, but I don't know that I'm going to use them on here because I think I quite like the way things turned out as is. So the two tags that we made today, here's the first one. It's got a tuck on the front with a little journaling card and some collage down here at the bottom. Opens up, plenty of journaling space with some stamping and embossing, and the whole back is empty. I feel like I should do something about that, but I don't know what. So I'll leave that for right now. And then we have the second one, which is a single tag, but it does have this large tuck here, and this is pretty sturdy, so anything pretty much could tuck in there. I did forget to go around the edges with the gold. I'll do that real quick. Okay, that's better. Now I have the gold edging. I've got this tuck here with nothing in it, but I can do something later. And then on the back I have some collage with still some writing space. So those are my 2 tags that actually complete my project for Cara Brandon as well. I will link Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming, who is the host of the collaboration for Tag Tuesday, hashtag Tag Tuesday, and I will tag Cara below, since she hosted the Jump into June challenge, which is where this originated. Thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, be kind. Bye. Hello. Welcome to try it again.